Hey guys, it's Ray. If someone were to ask me what my favorite movie of all time was, I would probably say it was A Girl Who Leapt Through Time. This is a movie that came out in 2006 and it follows the life of a girl named Makoto, who is a very goofy, lovable, adorable character who is just a high school girl going through life when she discovers the ability to leap, as the title suggests, back in time or forwards in time. I'm not going to spoil anything about the movie because you guys should just go and watch it. But what I am going to do is I'm going to draw one of my favorite scenes from the movie. This is a scene to kind of like the beginning of the movie, and I thought this was very interesting because, well, I love the movie for one thing, so I might be the only one who shares this opinion, but I think the color palette in this movie is one of the prettiest, be it very default for the time and very default for anime movies, but I absolutely love it. And this movie is just like, it's incredible to me. And I love this whole vibe of, if you ever watched an anime movie, you probably understand what I mean. This whole vibe of like people going to school in bikes, it's very nostalgic, although I've never gone to school in a bicycle. I don't know, it's very nostalgic. I actually decided to make this video on a whim because I just realized, because I rewatched the movie and I was like, I really want to draw this, and yeah, so that's why I'm doing that. Oh, I actually just realized while I was doing the voice recording that a different reference thing is on my reference tool in Group Studio, so ignore that for now. That's just the original character. I'm going to just walk you through what I'm doing right now. I started off this drawing by doing the background because it's fairly simple. I started off with the gradient for the background, and then the clouds and the landscape, kind of like the hilly bits, the leafy hilly bits. I did it with a thick paintbrush that is a default in Group Studio. And now, as the thing is going, I am going to sketch the characters, very outliney sketches, messy and quite like, let's say it's more, rather than messy, it's more loosely based on the reference, but since this is a redraw, I am pretty much like basing it on the reference, but it's loosely based on the style of the reference. And I think that's the easiest way to stylize characters, where you loosely base it off of the positioning and things in the reference, but you draw the characters as if you're drawing them to be your own characters, or as if you are drawing them entirely differently. So you might notice things like the hair is a bit more like different, and the face structure is a little bit different because the way I go about things and the way the reference is doing things is different. And because it's a screenshot of the movie, it's obviously less detailed than my painting of it is going to be, because when you animate you don't really put that much detail in. I do think the minimalistic style that it's animated in does suit the movie a lot, but I thought of doing this in a more painterly style because I find it a little bit more interesting to do, specifically in my art style. The painty vibe, I think, portrays more emotion and like more just general vibe, I think is the word I would use, just like in general. than the minimalistic kind of line art style. So eventually in this drawing I plan to merge the line art and all the color layers together so I can paint over it as if I was doing a traditional painting. For anyone who's struggling with getting kind of heavy thick paint brushes to work on Clip Studio, I do recommend doing this. I do recommend like merging all your layers, despite it feeling a little bit crazy to merge all your layers, because then you can't fix any mistakes later on that you made earlier. But if it's like super anxiety inducing or something, just like because I know it was a bit difficult to get used to that for me, I recommend just like maybe creating a copy of the image. There's a duplicate saving option on most softwares. You can just like save a duplicate of the image and then merge the layers or flatten the image on one and then work on it. I do recommend working on one layer structure later on in a drawing, because I think once you flatten an image, you kind of get the feeling of like you can't make any more mistakes, or rather you can't like really fix too many things. So I think people generally, like at least this is true for me, like I make less mistakes when I know I have the ability to screw up the drawing. So I feel like undo is a hugely powerful tool, so I try to not use it as much in the later stages of the drawing. So I feel like the stakes are a little bit high, but art is a process of having fun. So if it's too weird for you, don't do it at start. But it's just what I do, I guess. This is just like what worked for me when I wanted to really get into being more confident with my painty art style. Another reason that I like this movie a lot is because the emotions of these characters, despite the art style being very simple, is very subtle, and I wanted to capture that in this painting. So what I did to do that was, after merging the layers, I experimented a lot with eye positions, like the mouth positions, and you will see them in this time lapse as well. Makoto is especially a difficult character because her body language is very it's all over the place. Like it's so cute in the movie, but it's very difficult to portray in a single image. So I had to try a lot with her to do what I wanted to like finally get across. I ended up going with a bit of a complex shading style for the clothes themselves that weren't really reflective of their real kind of folds or whatever. I was more like, I kind of made it seem more like they were in motion and I'm kind of like screenshotting the moment, and but they're not so going so fast that it's like weird and blurry. So with that, I think I'm done with this drawing. I just adjusted the light a bit, adjusted the saturations and the hues and the rim light a little bit. I really enjoyed doing this drawing. I hope you guys also enjoyed watching it. Please go watch the movie if you haven't seen it. Goodbye. I'll see you soon.